Hi there, and welcome to Tom's Grinder Lab. I'm Tom, and this little video is to announce what I think is probably a world first initiative, and I'm going to call it a Burnament. So I put together a little agenda that we can unpack real quick to give you a bit of a heads up on how it all works. The agenda is: what is the Burnament? Why am I doing this? How does it work? When does it start? And how to get updates and other goodies to check out. Sit back, relax, and I'll tell you all about it. So what is a Burnament? A Burnament is kind of like a tennis tournament, except instead of tennis players, we have burr sets. Predominantly, there's going to be 83mm flat burrs. This photo is just some of the 83mm flat burrs that I've collected. Also 64mm burrs, plus a few wild cards we'll throw in there. So question is, why am I doing this? And the reason I'm doing this is because when my super cool Sunbeam grinder broke many years ago, I upgraded and really splashed out and bought myself something pretty special at the time, I thought, which was a Breville Smart Grinder Pro. And I was really blown away at the difference in the cup of my espresso. And it got me thinking, I wonder if there's something even better. And of course, in fact, there was. It was called a Niche Zero. So that was another big jump. And of course, the rabbit hole didn't end there. Over the last 3 years, I've had 40 different coffee grinders across my bench. I've had Weber EG1, I've had Dittings, I've had DFs, all sorts of coffee grinders. So I thought it would be pretty fun to collect every 83mm espresso burr that I could find, every 64mm espresso burr that I could find, try and find some grinders that they'd fit into and see which ones were best using my grind, blind, taste, compare methodology. So how does it work? Let me just step out of the way here. I mentioned it was a bit like a tennis tournament. So this is what the draw sheet is going to look like. You'll see, probably a bit small for you to see actually, but on the left-hand side of the draw here, we have 64mm flat burrs and a couple of wild cards and burrs that I like that I'm going to throw in there. And on the right-hand side are going to be 83mm flat burrs. Now, as I use my little clicker here, you'll see lots of different grinder burrs, some of which you'll recognize: SSP Espresso, Logon Mini, DF64 DLC, SSP Cast, DF64 Uncoated, Mazda 233M, Guerrilla Gear, Ital Mill, and a whole lot more. All of these, most of these are 64mm flat burrs. Fiorenzato Compact Givi, Varia Supernova Burr, Compact D6. So there's a couple of wild cards in there. On the right-hand side, Mazda 151H, K151H, one of the best espresso burrs in my view, but we'll blind test up against the Hypernova Ultra and Mazda K151i, Mazda 15. There's a lot of Mazdas on here because they have a lot of 83mm burrs, but Guerrilla Gear Compact, DF, DLC Espresso, Saito Opal Glide, pretty much every 83mm burr that I could get my hands on, Ital Mill SSP Cast. So these will go up against each other in a blind grind taste compare test. I'll have several other people here helping with this. We'll have log sheets, which we can share with you. And essentially, once we have done the first round, there will be a winner that will progress to the round of 16. This is the round of 13 being 16 different burr sets on each side of the draw. And eventually, of course, we'll have quarterfinals and semifinals, and there'll be a burr off for the final, and we'll announce this progressively week by week. So a few other points that I want to make, and I'll do so in the form of this little checklist. First of all, the grinders we'll be using predominantly would be a DF64V, Niche Zero, or DF83V, and these two will just depend on which one accommodates a particular burr the best in terms of getting it to grind. Even though we're doing a knockout format, there will be a loser from round one, we'll also have a plate. So the main draw is called the Cup. We'll also have a plate, so the losers from the first round will go into a separate draw, and they will compete against each other. And the two finalists from the plate will go back and challenge the two finalists challenges from the cup. So if a really good burr gets knocked out in round one, it will have the chance to rise above his past experience in the Challenger series. I'm going to be trying to have 4 testers here in the Grinder Lab. The results will be published weekly, stage by stage. So make sure you subscribe to get the updates. There's going to be 4 series. Series 1 is going to be for medium roast espresso. Series 2 will be light roast espresso. Series 3 will be milk espresso, and Series 4 will be for filter burrs. And the idea is to have one series every quarter and just repeat it annually, because new burrs come out, new grinders come out, and we'll see if we can knock off the champions from the previous year. Quarterfinalists from each series will automatically qualify for the next year's Burnament, and finally, new entrants every year include other size burr sets. If someone wants to send me a grinder, say a Cafetech, then we can put that into the Burnament as well and see what happens. So when does it start? It's going to start in Q3, 2024. You will need to subscribe to get updates. How do you get updates? There's two ways you can get updates. You can subscribe on the YouTube channel, or you can go to www.tomsgrinderlab.com, which is probably the better option. You can do either, it doesn't worry me. But if you go to tomsgrinderlab.com, you're going to get written updates in addition to just the videos. On YouTube, obviously, you just get the videos, but on the website, we've got more real estate and we can publish written results as well. So other goodies to check out, make sure you go to Tom's Grinder Lab, because I do have an espresso optimization guide there, which people are finding really helpful. And we cover things like how long should you rest beans for? And what if my espresso is a little bit sour? How do I get the bitterness out of espresso? All of those things are covered. So you can get that from tomsgrinderlab.com, and make sure you subscribe while you're there, because then you'll get all the Burnham updates. Cheers.